can't wait till Saturday.
What was the official offer to Caitlin?
It was 2 years, $5 million a year. And plus, we were going to do cool stuff with merch and
what truly separates Caitlin Clark from the rest is something deeper and far more meaningful. She's a player who places her background, her journey, and her loyal fans above any massive overseas paycheck that might come her way. At a time when many athletes openly ask, why stay loyal when bigger money is waiting elsewhere? Clark chose to respond with action instead of words, delivering a message that stunned the entire sports community. In a bold and decisive move, Caitlin Clark turned down an extremely profitable European contract, making it clear that her priorities extend well beyond financial gain.
I feel like there could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy...
Here's the moment where this narrative takes a surprising and much deeper turn. Right when the contract talks were entering their most intense and decisive phase, Caitlin was suddenly invited to return to Iowa. And let's be real for a moment, this choice likely shocked just about everyone, especially one particular voice that can't seem to stop obsessing over missed paydays and dictating what athletes should be making. This move went far beyond a routine professional decision. It was a bold declaration that spoke louder than any contract ever could.
The money is there, and if these owners are smart with it, I could definitely see more WNBA players going overseas and possibly not.
Now you might be sitting there wondering, what's the big deal here? It's just one contract. However, you have to understand the unwritten rules of professional sports. If someone offers you the opportunity to play in Europe, especially when it comes with a salary that would completely dwarf anything the WNBA could possibly give you, you are absolutely supposed to accept it. It's seen as the logical, financially sound, and expected move for any top-tier athlete.
The top 30 athletes where we'll play 3-on-3, 1-on-1, and just be home, be in market, and be able to be in a market that isn't a W team, but continue to grow the game and grow.
And we're not just talking about a bigger paycheck. For elite athletes like Clark, these European contracts don't just come with impressive numbers. They come with a lifestyle of serious next-level luxury. We're talking about first-rate lodging in incredible cities, constant VIP treatment, and an entirely new, passionate fan base, ready to scream your name from the rafters. For the vast majority of athletes, landing a deal like this is like winning the career lottery, a one-way ticket to a level of fame and fortune that most players simply can't afford to pass up.
In the past, the only on-record revenue that I could find of the WNBA is $60 million. Now, there has been rumors, there has been reports, there has been many things that say that the WNBA was projected to make 180 to 200.
After looking at all of that, the money, the fame, the luxury, Caitlin Clark's answer was a simple, confident, nope, I'm good. She made the deliberate choice to put loyalty above luxury, picking Iowa over Europe, even when you consider that the top players in Europe are easily making six figures and often much more. In the WNBA, rookies typically earn somewhere between $62,000 and $75,000, and Caitlin Clark is no exception to that rule. Despite her Rookie of the Year award, her WNBA salary is almost insignificant in comparison to what she could have pocketed abroad, but instead of cashing in like pretty much everyone else would, she saw something far more valuable, something priceless right here at home.
Vision, that feeling of home, all came to vibrant life when she returned to Iowa for a homecoming celebration at Kinnick Stadium that was simply unparalleled. Thousands upon thousands of fans, her former teammates, and her beloved coaches were all there, packed into the stands to show her their unwavering support. And you have to understand, they weren't just there to cheer for a celebrity, they were there to let her know in no uncertain terms that she meant something deeply personal to them. For Caitlin, this moment wasn't about a paycheck, it was about showing up for the place that helped her grow into the person she is today. For the people who stood by her every single step of the way, she turned down Europe, and let's be completely honest, that kind of loyalty is practically unheard of in professional sports these days.
If you guys want a full breakdown, definitely go check out that video. When we look at the numbers, I'll just do a really quick scenario for you. When we look at the numbers and when we look at what the WNBA WNBA has earned over the past years and the entirety of the WNBA, the numbers actually make.
Now, don't for a second think that this was just some minor sacrifice she made. European basketball isn't just a wage boost, it's an all-access card to everything a celebrity athlete might desire. For so many WNBA players, it represents a golden escape from the tight budgets and incredibly hectic schedules they face back in the States. They get the chance to live it up in glamorous world-class cities like Istanbul, Moscow, or Barcelona, all while earning double or even triple what the WNBA could ever hope to offer them. Walking away from that kind of lifestyle and that kind of money is no easy feat, especially when European clubs go so far above and beyond to keep their star players happy with all the perks you can possibly imagine.
Clark, the rest of her Iowa team back on campus, celebrating.
So why did she leave all that on the table? Because Clark's ties to Iowa are rooted in something far deeper than just basketball. They're rooted in family. Her homecoming wasn't some calculated publicity stunt. On the contrary, it was a genuine reunion, overflowing with love and shared memories. Her coach, Lisa Bluter, who has been more of a mentor to her than anything, couldn't even begin to hide how immensely proud she was. Her old teammates, incredible players like Gabby Marshall and Kate Martin, were right there with her, ready with inside jokes and easy laughs that can only come from years of battling side by side on the court. Caitlin's decision to reject a European fortune in order to maintain these connections is a powerful statement that goes far beyond simple loyalty.
I think he was even talk about percentage and team ownership. You know, we were gonna, you know, we believe her coming into the big three would be such a big deal that, you know, all boats would rise and the league would benefit from the attention and to see, you know, if she can actually do it.
Hawkeye Nation had always been in Caitlin Clark's corner, and this homecoming was her way of looking them in the eye and saying, "You stood by me, so now I'm sticking around for you." Think about the weight of that. It wasn't just a casual decision she made when she turned down a multi-million-dollar opportunity in Europe just to remain close to her Iowa community. It was a promise kept.
Caitlin is a great teammate, and if she wasn't a great teammate, it might be hard. If she was walked around like she was the star, she doesn't walk around.
Thousands upon thousands of fans filled the stands at Kinnick Stadium, absolutely decked out in black and gold, proudly holding signs with her name and her number plastered on them. It felt as if they were welcoming home a local legend, which, let's face it, is exactly what she is. But this wasn't just a crowd cheering for an athlete, it was a sea of familiar faces, people who had been passionately rooting for her since her very first shot at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Choosing Iowa over Europe was about honoring those roots, because Caitlin's ties to her hometown and her state run far deeper than any contract ever could.
And this loyalty, this incredible bond, certainly didn't appear out of thin air. Even after she officially joined the Indiana Fever in the WNBA, Iowa fans remained her bedrock of support. They organized massive watch parties, shared her highlights all over social media, and even traveled great distances just to see her play in a different uniform. Even on the biggest national stage, Hawkeye fans made absolutely sure that Caitlin felt the unwavering support of her hometown. It's incredibly uncommon to find a fan base that devoted, and you can be sure that Caitlin was acutely aware of just how special that is.
You're Rookie of the Year and First Team WNBA, but I have to ask, what was it like playing each other? Well, minus the 4 times I lost to Kate, pretty good, but it was fun, obviously, getting to live out your dream and do it at that highest.
And it's crucial to remember that the fans weren't the only ones there to welcome her back. Her former teammates and coach were there too, and this wasn't just a casual catch-up session. It was a powerful reminder of everything they had built together on that basketball court. Her coach, Lisa Bluter, who has been Caitlin's guiding light throughout her journey, saw her transform from a star-eyed freshman with raw talent into a dominant WNBA powerhouse. So seeing her back at Kinnick wasn't just an emotional moment for the fans. For Bluter, it was a profound, full-circle moment because she understood the depth of Caitlin's success on a whole new level.
Thank you. Our careers were incredible, and a lot of it was because of you guys. So we feel very fortunate to have played at a place like this, and we're happy to be back. So thank you, and let's get a win.
The memories, the friendships, and everything that this moment represented. It's practically unheard of in today's hyper-commercialized sports world, where fame and fortune can so easily steal an athlete away from their origins. But for Caitlin, Iowa isn't just some place on a map, it's truly and deeply home. So while other players might be packing their bags for a bigger paycheck overseas, Caitlin's decision was a loud and clear reminder that some things, intangible things like loyalty and roots, are worth infinitely more than any bank balance. And what's amazing is that not even her Rookie of the Year title changed that fundamental part of who she is.
You never know how quickly they're going to adapt to the WNBA game coming from college. And I think that Caitlin has done surprisingly well, how quickly she's adapted.
Additionally, if you happen to be new to the world of basketball and only jumped on the bandwagon because of the phenomenon that is Caitlin Clark, you need to fasten your seatbelts because you missed an absolutely incredible journey during her Hawkeye days. There were so many unforgettable events throughout Caitlin's stay with Iowa that elevated the entire program to a level no one thought possible. We're talking about feats like her jaw-dropping triple-doubles, a rare accomplishment she managed to pull off 3 times in the 2022 to 2023 season alone. And then there was that legendary buzzer-beating victory over Indiana on February 26, 2023, a shot that not only won the game but also practically stopped time itself. Her uncanny ability to seize the game's final desperate seconds became an iconic moment that made headlines everywhere and helped transform her into the basketball legend we know and love today.
And guess what? C! Give me a C, please! Keelan is coming back.
And let's be perfectly honest here, it wasn't simply her absurd, almost video game-like abilities that led Iowa to consecutive Final Fours in 2024 and 2025. No, it was something more. It was her unshakable confidence and her relentless consistency that propelled the Hawkeyes into unimaginable heights, shattering expectations along the way. Fans didn't just watch Caitlin play for Iowa. They felt like they were actively involved in a movement, a cultural moment that was bigger than basketball. In a very real sense, Caitlin fundamentally and permanently changed the program.
This basketball team being honored on the field moments ago, and there is the legend Caitlin Clark with some bling on her hand, Big Ten tournament championship rings, and there is her coach, another Iowa coaching legend, Lisa Bluter, who of course retired after last season. Jan Jensen, now the head coach of the program, and all kinds of hardware on the field.
With record-breaking crowds packing the stands in an electric excitement that was surely palpable from miles away, Carver Hawkeye Arena completely transformed into an impenetrable fortress. Every single home game became an unforgettable experience, not just another match on the schedule in a way that very few athletes ever managed to do. Caitlin's presence on that court wasn't just noticeable, it was electrifying, bringing supporters together and uniting an entire state behind her.
Beyond all the statistics and the awards, Clark's true effect is felt most deeply by her supporters, who see her as the living embodiment of Iowa's heart and soul. By prioritizing loyalty before any potential financial gain, she didn't just set an example for others to follow, she sparked a genuine movement. Iowa basketball is now more than just a sport, it's a vibrant, passionate community that will endure for generations. Because of her, every young athlete in the state now feels that Iowa isn't just a place where dreams begin, but also a place where they can fully come true, long after her final dribble and her lasting influence.
It makes me smile in return. Like, for me, I'm just myself. That's what I try to be. I try to just be a great role model for them, and I think it speaks to how I was raised as a kid. I've loved every second of playing sports, but also my parents always preach there's so much more to life.
Pause for a moment and really take this in. Since Caitlin first arrived at Iowa, youth basketball participation among girls in the state has skyrocketed by an incredible 30%. That number isn't just data on a page, it's clear evidence of the influence she's had on an entire generation. Caitlin is far more than a highlight machine lighting up scoreboards. She represents living proof that true greatness doesn't need to come from some far-off, glamorous destination. She's shown young athletes, like one girl who openly said Caitlyn is the sole reason she ever picked up a basketball, that extraordinary dreams can be realized right where you are. To many, she isn't only an inspiration, she's a real, relatable role model. Her journey sends a powerful message that success doesn't require abandoning your roots. Over time, Caitlyn Clark has come to embody every young athlete who once believed leaving Iowa was the only way to achieve something meaningful. And when the final cheers faded inside Kinnick Stadium, Caitlyn stood at center court, scanning an endless wave of black and gold, smiling faces staring back at her. Each one symbolized shared pride, loyal support, and years of collective memories. Europe promised excitement, luxury, and a fortune few could ever imagine, but in that defining moment, it was obvious Caitlyn chose something far more valuable. She chose home, and the fans who had stood by her since her very first shot at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Those who celebrated every triple-double, erupted for each last-second buzzer beater, and cherished every record she shattered as if it belonged to them personally. Turning down massive, multi-million-dollar offers and the elite privileges that came with playing overseas was far more than a simple business move, it became a deeply meaningful declaration of her values. It sent a clear message that even the brightest fortunes can't outweigh loyalty, genuine relationships, and the unbreakable bonds formed through shared struggle, sacrifice, and ambition. As she absorbed the pure excitement of being back, surrounded by laughter and applause from former teammates like Gabby Marshall and Kate Martin, while feeling the proud presence of coach Lisa Blutter, Caitlyn reached a powerful realization. She understood that real success isn't measured by the size of a contract, but by influence, by connection, and by the number of hearts you truly impact along the way. For the young girls across Iowa now picking up a basketball because of her journey, Caitlyn became far more than a famous name. She stood as living proof that greatness can be built right at home, and that dreams don't have to be chased across oceans to become reality. Every smile, every handshake, and every deafening ovation that filled the arena served as a reminder that loyalty still matters, alive in the choices made by those brave enough to honor where they started. In that unforgettable moment, Caitlyn Clark became more than the WNBA Rookie of the Year, she became a symbol of courage and perseverance, choosing community over contracts, heart over profit, and roots over riches. As she slowly walked off the court, it felt as if the entire stadium paused with her. Each step echoed countless late-night games, exhausting early morning practices, and moments of sheer determination that shaped her path. This wasn't simply a homecoming, it was a celebration of everything money can never buy: friendships, memories, unwavering belief, and the unconditional love of a community that watched her grow from a wide-eyed freshman into a transformative force who redefined Iowa women's basketball. When the applause finally dissolved into the night air, Caitlyn Clark's story remained as a lasting reminder that true greatness is measured by the lives you touch, the loyalty you protect, and the courage to choose home even when the world is offering endless riches. If this story moved you, drop your thoughts in the comments, share this with someone who believes loyalty still matters, and subscribe for more powerful stories that go far beyond the scoreboard.